Everyone, my name is Lisa Corson and I work at Community Counseling Centers and Pillwillop Therapeutic Farm in Wolcott, and I was asked to share some simple techniques we could all use using very basic art materials to help us relieve some stress during this really stressful time. Let's take a look at what I have on the art table. Hi everyone, my name is Lisa Corson and I work at Community Counseling Centers and Pillwillop Therapeutic Farm in Wolcott, and I was asked to share some simple techniques we could all use using very basic art materials to help us relieve some stress during this really stressful time. Let's take a look at what I have on the art table. On the table right now, I have really basic art materials you can find in your home or probably somewhere in the hospital in the staff break room. I have plain paper, copy paper, a wide variety of crayons and Sharpies. I do have some soft pastels, a simple tray of watercolors that children use, a printable template I'm going to talk about later, and another big piece of paper. And here's Mia just making her cameo to say hi while we all work on some art together. So I'm going to demonstrate 3 different techniques, and I look at them as stages of releasing stress. So they're going to go from the most energetic to the most relaxed, and there'll be a few variations on each, so I'll show you those in just a minute. So this first technique is going to use just some plain paper and some crayons that we have handy, and it's really just intended to be a warm-up to sort of get out some negative or stressful energy. We hold a lot of negativity and energy in our bodies and stress in our bodies, and this is a great way to just release some of it without having any idea that it has to look like anything. The intent, in fact, is for this to not look like anything. It's just to scribble and release your stress. So just go for it and get it out in any way you can. So maybe circles feel good. I like up and down motions. Try more than one crayon if you like. Just sort of use as much energy as you can to process through whatever is bothering you for the day or the moment. Do it until you're tired and until you feel like you've done it enough to release some of that stress. Sometimes we do this over and over again until we can't even see what our original color was. Sorry for all of the shaking of the camera. It's hard to hold the phone and release this energy at the same time. So the next variation on our scribble drawing that we did in the beginning, the warm-up, is actually a different type of scribble drawing. So get yourself a pencil and a piece of paper and just have it in front of you and just close your eyes and scribble around the paper in all kinds of motions, moving anywhere you want. It's okay if you go off the page, and just do that with your eyes closed until you feel like you've done it enough. Now, there are also 2 variations to this. The first variation is just to look at your scribble drawing when you are done with it and see if you can pull out any images or shapes that make it something recognizable. In some cases, you might find something that resembles a face or a butterfly or a tree or some other type of organic form that you could then create into a drawing. The most simple way to approach this afterwards is just to color in the shapes that you made with the scribble. So this becomes you just doing a little relaxing coloring like you would if you were using any type of coloring book. And feel free to do this with the crayons that you had set aside from the previous exercise. Use colored pencils if you like, but spend some time just filling in and reflecting on your thoughts while you color in the drawing. This next technique involves just doing some repetitive patterns and repetitive motions. What I'm showing here, which I will attach as a printable for you guys later, is a silhouette of a dove. Many of you have heard of Zentangle. This can be very similar to that, where you're just going to take a pen or pens and start filling in patterns in repeated ways to fill in the space. One reason why we do this is because doing repetitive patterns over and over again seems to really effectively calm our minds. We follow the patterns around and we make space in our brains and in our bodies for more information and to calm ourselves from things that might have been stressing us throughout the day. I had these doves in mind because I thought these might be good for everybody to fill in and make printables and cut them out and post around the hospital to cheer everybody up for a little bit. This is intended to be a very meditative process. You can take your time and make slow curving lines. You can repeat patterns and change patterns throughout. Sorry for the cat ear, but she's always really interested in whatever anybody's doing at the art table. The more that you fill in, you can change pens and change colors, but the more likely you will start to relax as you fill in the shape. The third and final technique I'm going to show involves using our watercolor tray. And it's what I like to call breath painting. So this is very accessible to you, to your kids, to anyone in your family to help sort of relax yourself and process through and pay attention to your breath. So what we're going to do is get a lot of water on our brush. Lots and lots of water is really helpful for this technique because we want as much paint as possible to be on our brush. And then what we're going to do is literally take a deep breath in and follow our breath with the brush. So we're breathing in deeply. And we're releasing. The trick is to make your breath become slow and regulated and to follow your brush and your breath. So you're going to be breathing in and adding color and slowly breathing out. So we're going to do it again. We're going to breathe in through our nose. And out through our mouth. You'll notice right away, especially with kids, that sometimes they tend to want to breathe really quickly in and out, almost like hyperventilating style. And the technique is to train them to slow down their breath and to blend the colors and follow the paint with their brush and with their breath. So one thing that they could try first is to actually try it with just a wet brush with no paint. Just so they can sort of get the technique down and figure out how that all works. So let's do it again. We're going to take a deep breath in through our nose. And let it out through our mouths and just follow our breath. Okay. The point in doing this is to do this several times until we start to slow our breath down and start to relax. And what you're going to find is, depending on where you go with your brush and how many times you need to do it, you may create a beautiful rainbow. You may create a beautiful abstract piece of art. Another way to do it, not necessarily using this mountain kind of technique or style that I'm doing, is to just load up your brush again with lots of paint. And then just slowly, as slow as you can, just go across the paper and just make your breath match your brush, and your brush match your breath. Thanks everybody for giving me a chance to demonstrate these 3 techniques to you. If you have any other questions about them, you can access me at lisa@docwarren.org, docwarren.org, and I'm happy to give you some more techniques and things to try. Thanks.